Ireland Guinness versus Slovenia. And for those of you watching in the States, this is the team that picked up John Damaris, or Don Damaris, as the case may be. We can't tell if there's a mustache yet, but this will be his team, so we'll get to watch him a little bit on the stream. Let's run through very quickly what the matchups, they've already chosen their matchups and are starting to deploy on the tables. So we'll run through quickly before we take you out to each of the games. We have John with Protector of Menoth, Sevi 2 versus...
Tevi?
Yeah, so we can talk about that in a second, but the Slovenian names, I apologize.
We struggle with them, I think you could say.
So, Tus, maybe? Tevs? Tus?
Tevs? Tevi?
Yeah. Tush? Teosh.
Douche.
Douche. So we've got Sevi 2 versus Coven. This Coven list is, of course, Coven Dark Host. So the pretty standard. He has a Min and a Max Bane Riders. I think the standard cookie cutter is 2 Max Bane Riders, but he's pretty close, Wraith Engine. And then John will be playing his Sevi 2 list into that.
I do have to question his choices of 3 Arc Nodes with his Sevi 2 list.
We'll have to ask John what he was thinking when he built these lists, because it just is... It's baffling.
I think that
yeah. So we have I don't know if it's genius or it's stupid, because there's no choir either.
Right,
in the
there's no choir in that Sevi 2 list.
And 3 Arc Nodes. So I'm not sure what Don Damaris was thinking when he designed that list.
His hatred of Aemon might play into this.
All right, so then we have, looks like
Josh,
James.
that was a very good pickup of not having choir in that list.
Yeah, thank you.
Very good at noticing that.
Yeah, so then we have James versus Anza, and we have looks like Denny list into Zal2. Is that what James has? Let me check. Ireland Guinness. So James, yes, Denegger 1, bog standard Denegger 1 Ghost Fleet into Zal 2 list. It's actually interesting. There's a Scorn player on each side in this matchup, and they're essentially playing the same lists. Makeda Cats and then Zal 2, all the Immortals. So our table 3 is Kieran Bolger versus...
Kieran F. Bolger?
Yeah. Versus Sebastian, maybe? And it's Makeda 2 versus... Do you have the Slovenia list pulled up?
I do.
Yeah.
Against who?
Sebastian.
Yeah, okay, Haley 2.
Makeda 2, Cats versus Haley 2. The Haley 2 list is Colossal list, so it's Stormwall, Storm Strider, so 2 large bases. Talking with Pat Dumford, this version of the Haley 2 list he quite likes to play for kind of the Signar matchups. We'll have to see how it does into the Cats.
We have the Firefly, the Thorn, we have a Charge on Journeyman and a Cyclone on Jakes.
Yeah, so. Then we have Jason with Signar. He is dropping Nemo 3. So this is the other Cray player, but we're going to be denied the opportunity to watch Cray a second time today. So he dropped his Nemo 3 list, double Storm Striders into...
Irisk 2?
Yeah, into Iris 2. What, Tilin? Is that the player's name? Oh, no. Nope. Wrong list.
Is it?
Or maybe he wrote it down for the wrong. So yeah, it is into Irisk 2.
It's Jan. Yeah.
So yeah, John. Oh yeah, okay. So it's Jan with Irisk 2. Legion of Steel list. All the Iron Fangs, Black Dragons, Great Bears. Pretty standard loadout there. Two Devastators for that battle group. And then our final table is going to be Charlie Healy. And he is running Sorsha 1. And it's Sorsha 1 Rockets, essentially, Winter Guard Command. And he's running it into Teelin's Kalissa 1 list. So Kalissa with 2 full units of Mage Hunter Strike Force under Shadows of Retribution, some Assassins, Chimera, and 2 Hydras, and a Manticore. So kind of a big battle group for her, I feel. but pretty standard standard list there. So we'll have to see a couple of gun lines slugging it out. Do we know what the scenario is for this round?
It's called double circle, double rectangle.
Double circle, double rectangle. Yeah. It looks like there is probably not objectives in this one. I never remember the names of the scenarios.
Check it out.
Yeah. So we'll look it up for you guys. I'm sure you're probably screaming at me in the chat. Well, standoff. Thank you. Standoff. So we'll have to see how these double gun lines interact with the scenarios. That's kind of been one of the initial takeaways of Steamroller 2017 is a tendency to drift away from gun lines. They tend to struggle to control the scenario zones because it's not sort of centralized like it used to be, because it's spread out across the table. So we'll have to see how those two lists play into each other. It'll be interesting.
There's like a lot of dots going on.
Yeah. All right, so we are checking out table 2, which is our Denegra 1 Ghost Fleet into Zol 2. Denegra 1 on the Irish side. And it looks like... oh, I see. They're all painted like ghosts. I was like, are those all plastic models? Don't you have to have painted models for WTC? But yeah, they're just a ghostly painted scheme. So it looks like, you know.
I mean, it is called Ghost Fleet, so...
Yes, that's true. Yes. They are ghost pirates. I understand.
For once, actually ghosts.
For once, yes. So we're just unpacking here, obviously, on Slovenia player side, Anzi. I know that's probably not the correct pronunciation, but... unpacking his...
the Twitch stream loves your unicorn shirt, Hermione.
It is amazing.
Yes.
I'm trying to get the stream open so I can do the chat, but can't get it.
Maybe we'll interview John Damaris afterwards and put you down right in between. There you go. Yeah. So, what do you think about this particular matchup, Ricard?
So let's say we had
Zol 2 into Denegra 1.
So I'm not really sure about the rules. How does the pistol wraith, like soul stealing ability, interact with Zal's ability?
That's a good question. I don't think that. I think Zal gets priority.
Zal probably trumps.
I believe Zal just gets priority. But I'd want to look at the.
So Dark Spirit is when a living friendly faction. Blah, 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 blah. You shows which model with the soul tag ability gets.
Yeah, it gets the destroyed models.
Yeah, there goes the proximity. Okay,
yeah.
so Zal will actually trump the soul sting abilities from the Crix fleet.
From the Pistol Wraith and the Hellslinger Phantom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if the Wraith engine actually takes souls, but
takes
yeah.
corpses, right? The Wraith engine.
Let's see.
We know our stuff.
Yes. So this is what you actually get when you don't support the stream, the funding for the stream. You get like drunk watch machine players in onesies commentating and just checking up stuff in War Room on the fly.
So Wraith engine doesn't even souls, yeah, right? No. Living enemy
makes machine wraiths.
You can replace. Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There's no. He doesn't collect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see. So Zal has got a defensive feat. It's like +5 armor, right?
Yes.
To the constructs.
Yes.
Which is sort of iffy for the Denegra to shoot through even through feet and parasite, especially since it's just one unit.
Yes.
But I'm not sure what the plan, like the game plan is for Zal, because he can weather he can feat.
Does he have an RFP spell? I can't remember if he does.
I'm gonna check.
Yeah. And I couldn't remember if Annihilation RFP'd or not. Spellcaster
Annihilation.
Regular.
Yeah. Okay. So Annihilation does remove from play. It's cost 4, range 10, AoE 3, power 10 spell. So if the Denegra player can space out his stuff, he's going to have to spend a lot of resources. But on the other hand, it's going to get a lot of souls.
Yeah. Well, I mean, particularly, we're going to look for him to try to annihilate the unit leaders, because if you can remove the unit leader of the Black Banes,
Oh yeah, yeah, of course. I mean,
or not the
yeah.
Black Banes, the pirate units, then
Yeah.
they will no longer recur. So we'll have to see. Of course, most Ghost Fleet players make that as hard as they can. And it doesn't take too much to leave them fairly far back, spread out.
So does he have any form of arc nodes in this list?
He does not. I don't think he has the ability to arc through Ancestral Guardians or anything like that, right? This is not the theme for this list is not out yet. Direct Spirits, Righteous Vengeance, Soul Taker, no.
I can't
No.
see
No,
it. So
yeah.
chat have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that he can actually channel the annihilation from something. So that's gonna put him into a risk position if he does go for the unit leaders.
With only a 10-inch range.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that he'll have to. So it's something he might be planning to try for on his feet turn in this matchup. But aside from the feet turn, I think it's pretty risky for him.
I mean, it does seems like the natural drop into something like Ghost Fleet. I mean, you need you need RFP.
Yeah, you need RFP. He's got relatively resilient models, particularly under the feet turn. He can control kind of how bonkers the pistol race can be. He has enough models that he doesn't just lose on scenario play.
Yeah.
I think that this is a reasonable drop, but Ghost Fleet is Ghost Fleet, so we'll have to see how it plays out.
I mean, he still goes to armor 23 on feet turn.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
I mean, down to 18 with both Parasite and Defeat.
Yeah.
So he's durable at least, but it's still... I'm not sure if he can get enough output to actually get all the leaders when it counts, so I'm not sure.
He does at least have a plethora of magic weapons throughout and the Immortals can certainly kill the Wraith Engine. I expect the Wraith Engine to kind of do as much work as it can in a single turn and then probably die afterwards in this game. So we'll see if that's what happens. Do we have any other games kind of unpacking at the moment? All right, let's take a look at Table 3. On Table 3, we have Kiran with Makeda Cats and...
Cats.
Oh, yes. There are objectives in this scenario, by the way. I think on the last table, they didn't have their objectives down. So, yes, I think somebody may have mentioned in the chat there's supposed to be objectives. Yes, there are supposed to be objectives. They just hadn't put them down yet on the table. So here we have Kiran with Makeda 2 Cats into Sebastian with Haley 2, the sort of large base Haley 2. Of course, this is our first chance to really see Haley 2 played post-nerf in competitive play. For those of you unaware, her feat was changed. And now she gets, is it D3 plus 6? Does that sound right? D3 plus 5.
Yeah.
D3 plus 5 models that her old feat still works on, although they don't have to remain in her control. She essentially catches them and then can go wherever she wants.
Because now it's a pulse instead of an aura, which is pretty big into stuff like recursion.
Right. It's also... I've talked to a few of the Legion players here this weekend, and many of them are upset and call it a buff into Legion because they can't slipstream out of the feet. They can't, so...
And also see Kieran Bolger sporting a very beautiful display conversion with an Irish hat.
Yes.
Siren has no whiskey or beer on the table. He is losing.
Yeah. So I mean, I think we've seen a shift in Kieran style. I mean, he used to be like an easygoing guy, but now he's more of a try-hard, going more like, I'm gonna win this WTC.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You mean scum?
Yeah. I mean, even recruiting like the famous player Don Jamaris. Yeah. Just to get like a power boost for the team.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay. So it sounds like after talking to the players, we should get a little better kind of notation of what the roundage and current CPs are in each match, notated by dice by the death clocks. So
Table 2 had the option to add the objectives. They both decided not to do it.
Okay. So
Okay.
So table 2 was given the opportunity to add their objectives that they forgot when setting up the table, and agreed both to forego having the objectives on the table. So they will be playing a non-standard scenario,
Yeah.
I guess.
The WTC, ladies
Yes,
and gentlemen.
Cheating.
yes.
Straight up cheating.
So we'll see. We'll see what a difference that makes.
Yeah.
But so we can see that Haley 2 player pre-measuring just the initial push forward, of course, positioning just outside of the fairly long threat range of the Makeda Cats. We can go ahead and check in with another table. We can just kind of, I think everybody's pretty much underway now if you just want to go from 3 to 4.
I've also noted that there will not be any more orange teams on that table ever again.
Yeah, the orange paint scheme and the pumpkins is it's a nice combination. Okay, so we're going to check in over at 5, I guess. This is Charlie with Sorsha 1 versus Tillian with Kalissa.
So we see some unpacking here. I guess we're seeing some attacks already
Yeah.
into the AD.
Yeah.
Mage Hunters, I think.
I would guess it's some Mage Hunter into Widowmakers, maybe?
Let's take a look at the Sorsha list. Yeah, it's all Winter Guard, rockets, infantry. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 men units of Winter Guard with full rockets. And then a mortar, a couple field guns, battle engine, and decimator and destroyer on Sorsha. And of course, Grigorovich. Yeah, so we can talk about the terrain a little bit on these tables for people just joining in. The tables this year were all designed to have theme and have accompanying themed 2D terrain, and then each player gets a sheet kind of delineating them. Most of them are fairly self-explanatory, but we're looking at the urban table right now. And so on this urban table, if I can point out a particular, right, this is the urban table?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, yeah. So maybe I'm looking at the wrong sheet. Yep, I am. Yep. So this area here is a hill. I think it's supposed to be like kind of a raised roof or something like that. So that in particular is a hill. The sort of building-looking objects are buildings. This is an obstruction.
Yep.
This is an obstruction. Sorry, this mouse for telestrating is a little difficult to use, so probably, yeah, I might see if I can make a makeshift mouse pad here. And then this bit here in the center is shallow water. It's supposed to be like a fountain. And
I guess trenches up.
trenches are trenches.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that pretty much covers it.
And walls are walls.
Yeah, and the wall is a linear obs. Yeah, yep. Right along in that bottom
Yeah.
zone there.
It's pretty important to point out that the actual outer edges of the zones are not super easy to make out
On this particular
the table.
yeah.
So we have the circular zones. You can see the
So like
the octagon edges pretty
Yeah.
easily.
there's a
but
little bit of cobblestone that's part of that zone there. Yeah,
And, and especially the rectangle zones extend beyond like the visible edges.
right. Yeah, so the rectangle zones are actually out more like here.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Very
What's
nice.
that?
Very
Yeah,
nice
yeah,
illustrated.
yeah.
Yes.
So the zones are all like themed with the terrain as well. So even though it looks like there's things printed on the zones, that's not actually terrain itself. So like this stuff here is not terrain. It's just a artistic bit of work on the particular zone marker.
I think it's clear on the tables, but from here.
Yes,
pretty
yes,
hard.
yeah. It's a little more difficult on the stream than it is in person. And this table in particular is probably one of the hardest to sort of
But
delineate.
it's not the pumpkin table.
It's not the pumpkin table, that's true.
So I'm wondering where the Kalissa player put his upkeeps, if he has even activated Kalissa. Because I think that Blur should go somewhere against the infantry.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Although with the rockets, I'm not sure that they care.
I mean, it's still like you should put it up because it's plus the defense. I mean, some rows are gonna roll low.
Right.
So
Yeah. No, absolutely.
or maybe it goes up on Kalissa herself.
But yeah, blast damage. So this is actually interesting. I played into it was in Assyria, but same Shadows of what is it? Shadows of
Ios, maybe.
Defender of Ios. It's not Shadows. Shadows. Yeah. Right. This is Shadows of.
For the Sword, Defense of Ios, and Shadows of the War Room fails me because it's Shadows of the R.
Shadows of the Retribution, I
Fusion.
think, is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, this particular Shadows, playing into it, I've played into it with a few shooting blast damage kind of lists, and ordinarily, in Mark II, you played into Retribution, and they have plenty of protection for blast damage there. Mage Hunters are just fine. Between Disco and the big mitts and so on and so forth, they have protection versus blast to save all their Arm 11 troops. But now in the Theme Force era, those I felt like Retribution was very strong at the start of Mark III, but I feel like the Theme Force takes them out of being a combined forces type of army and forces them into taking specific units. And I feel like Retribution is at its strongest when all the units sort of support each other, and you can't do that as much in these lists. And they end up with some of these weaknesses in the list, like weakness to mass blast damage or whatnot, that a traditional Ret list wouldn't have had weakness to. So we'll have to see if that plays out here, as it has in my experience playing games. It'll be interesting to see. We can go ahead and switch over to Table 4. We haven't taken a look at Table 4 yet. All right, so Table 4 is Jason with Nemo 3 versus, again, name.
Jan?
Jan. Yep, it's Jan.
With Iris
Iris 2. Iris 2, yep. So this is this is going to be interesting to watch. We can talk about we've got for touching on terrain, we've got Burning Earth here, which is essentially a place where if model ends its activation without flying in this area, then they pick up the fire continuous effect. So sort of a death knell to most infantry, but the Stormstrider, not too concerned about it, so you can see it heading on in there. Though that certainly could add up over time, but I think he probably has mechanics. I don't have his list pulled up at the moment.
Isn't that actually the guy Baffo that posts like sweet conversions on the Muse page?
Oh yes, the Slovenian player. Yeah,
Yeah.
it does look like him. Yeah. Yes, I think that's right. Jan,
Yeah.
I think is his name. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So kudos to him.
Yeah. So this Nemo 3 list, or a variant of this Nemo 3 list, talking with Keith and Pat Dunford, this list is one of the few lists, actually the only list, capable of shooting a Grimkin brick off the table.
Yeah.
And that is a massive amount of damage output.
Yeah. I mean, we can see here two Stormstriders set it to perfection.
Yes.
Just going wild.
Yep. So even though this looks like a pretty mighty Khador brick, Nemo definitely packs the punch to cut through it. We'll have to see. The Electro Leaps into to Ulans or whatnot is not a big deal, but
So does he actually see? I don't understand. So I think he's throwing down a sight through a forest.
It does look like he's drawing a line of sight through the forest. But I don't know if he's making an attack or if that's just a distance, a threat distance.
Yeah,
marker.
probably. I think he has rolled for the power tokens.
Yes, yeah, it was. He was putting power tokens on earlier. Yeah, it doesn't really look like he's making any attacks with it. I think he's just trying to keep his guys out of range of the jacks and the front Ulan or dragoon. I'm not sure if that's a dragoon or an Ulan in the front, but it looks to me like he's just marking Jan's threat ranges.
Yeah.
As he unpacks. And I assume this Nemothras. Yeah, so we can go ahead and check in to table 1, the infinite Gendarmerie versus Tous.
The best table.
He's
Tebby?
dropped Sevi 2. Again, we don't really understand the Sevi 2 list. We'll have to ask John what he was thinking afterwards.
Why did you say infinite? I'm curious. Because his ego goes on for eternity,
I meant to say infamous, but
I like infinite.
Infinite, the infinite
Infinite is the void.
Yeah. So
I think we should keep track of the arc nodes. I think he has I think I see there's one on top and 2 on the bottom. I'm not sure if he's trying to flank with arc nodes to get some value hex blasts going on.
Yeah. So he is playing into Coven, Dark Host.
It looks like he forgot to deploy his choir.
It does look like he forgot to deploy his choir, but it turns out if he deployed choir, he would have been cheating.
Yeah.
So John's list is 2 Reckoners, 2 Revengers, Hierophant, Blessing of Vengeance on Severius, Covenant, the book, 3 Rex, and then 3 Vassal Mechanics, 2 Vassal of Menos, Visigoth Roven and Co., and the Vessel of Judgment. This is a really light model count list.
Yeah.
And every model in it is quite vulnerable to Bane Cavalry.
But in the hands of a master, even those low model lists are going to do a lot of work. You just have to play it perfectly.
It's not a list I would make myself.
It's possible. No, not at all. But I'm certainly not John Damaris.
No, I'm not questioning John's decision to build this list because I'm not really down with Protect Threat.
Yes.
We are not on his level.
It is entirely possible that John built an inferior list and chose to play it on the stream just to demonstrate his true prowess at the game.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm going to New York Times call this as a win for John immediately.
In case you weren't listening to the first cast, we have been sort of calling games early as though we were the New York Times.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is our earliest call yet.
Yes.
But yes, Ricard, I think you're right. This
Yes.
game for John Damaris for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so terrain on this table, this is a swamp table. We do have Acid Bath, which is this guy right here. So Acid Bath is just an area just like that burning terrain or burning earth on the other table, except it applies the corrosion effect. So even more deadly for infantry, but fairly negligible for large models, which I'm sure is why John decided to take this side, because his models don't care about a little corrosion. Looks like we've got shallow water are what these guys are. This one and this one.
Is that shallow?
It is shallow water.
Okay.
Yep. And then forests are forests, and we've got the fog bank.
Okay.
That's essentially just a cloud effect.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of those through here. This is the swamp terrain.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
We see no linear obstacles, I think, and
No, I don't.
No.
I don't believe there are any linear obstacles.
and they actually deploy their objects.
Yeah. So. All right, go back to 2.
So we're looking at Ghost Fleet against Zalto.
So Ghost Fleet versus Zaltu.
We see the I guess it's hard to tell the black banes apart from the other stuff when it's all corporeal, but I think it's in the top zone we have a line of black banes
Oh right.
standing in front.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not really sure about that play because in Mark 3 you can just charge through incorporeal stuff, they can't free strike you.
Right.
So, I mean, he could get to the pirates if he wanted to. I don't know if that actually makes any difference, but
I'm not sure they can move quite far enough to. Well, maybe probably the front guys.
Yeah.
Been fine. Yeah.
but I mean, just killing like ghost pirates. It's like if you get towed, that doesn't matter because they're for sure going to come back.
Right. Yeah. Making headway is nearly impossible.
But I am surprised seeing Black Bane like face tanking the entire. I mean, okay, I guess it doesn't matter too much because there's no living stuff in the Sol army.
Right.
So you can't make any new Black Banes. But I mean, he's still the leader.
The Black Beans are essentially in the Ghost Fleet list are kind of just a cheap gear check unit.
Yeah.
Like, do you have magic weapons?
Yeah.
Can you keep me from making 20 Black Banes?
Yeah.
If you can't, well, then this one unit's going to win the game for me.
Yep.
And if you can, then that's fine because it's not a big part of my army.
Yeah.
And it's not a big part of what I do.
These look like vengeance attacks.
think.
They
Could
may be vengeance attacks.
So I think the Black Banes have charge, so they are not incorporeal, so they will make.
I mean, I think all immortals have magical weapons anyway.
Yes,
Yeah.
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 Immortals are magic,
Yeah.
so it could be. It's one of the two. It's hard. Sometimes it's hard to tell coming in. We know it's turn 2, and it appears from the dice that the Denegra player has scored 2. So perhaps it's actually turn 3. Since you can only obviously you cannot score till the bottom of 2, but the dice position by the clock does make it appear that the Ghost Fleet player is up 2 points to 0, probably in the 3rd turn.
It does seem that way. I guess he scored his own rectangle zone in the bottom zone.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he must have scored, and the bottom zone. Potentially. Although it looks like it depends on whether or not that Immortal down there and that War Beast, or is that one of Denegra's Stalkers actually, or
Which one? The
Looks like a bone check to me.
yeah, I think it's a Bone Chicken. So this model here, that one there is probably a Bone Chicken.
yeah.
Looking at the paint
Yeah.
schemes and whatnot. Yeah. So there is one Immortal contesting that zone in the bottom. So the question is whether or not that was in place last turn.
I mean,
or
I
they-
guess he could have vanished there.
Yeah. So it's possible they scored the top zone through charging, and now we've seen the pushback through vengeance moves and further charging. We'll be able to tell if we see that top unit charge whether or not those were
Yeah.
vengeance
I mean, I
attacks or
guess
not.
the position of the Kreia that seems to be contesting would.
Right. Oh, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true as well. Yeah. So one of the zones, at least, one of the circle zones, was clearly scored by the Denegra player last turn based on their dice. All right, let's just go ahead and just keep cycling through. We'll head over to table 3, Kieran versus Sebastian, Makeda 2, Cats versus Haley 2. We'd seen Haley 2 unpack. It looks like Makeda bricked up pretty hard. They have just played 1, so it looks like they're in the top of 2 right now. And
They
Stormwall is attempting to make its presence felt in that zone over there.
Is that Thorn that's pressed into Makeda's zone?
It does look like it could be Thorn. I suspect it is.
You get a shield and a spear.
Yep. So it looks like we have Thorn here. And this, I believe, is a hill. This, like, terrain that's underneath them on the...
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like the rooftop.
Yeah. Yep. Or like a raised platform. Drinking platform. I think this particular terrain or table is supposed to represent like a smashed up beer festival or something like that. So that's why there's a bunch of pumpkins and like broken bottles all over the grass. And
Yeah, with some pumpkin spice latte
yeah,
things.
a
Yeah,
lot of pumpkin
yeah.
spice lattes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And here we see the storm ready going in, probably.
Yep. All right. So let's see how much work the Storm Strider can do here. This will be interesting. Obviously, I expect Makeda to stay death on her cats here, and it looks like she's presumably this right here is Makeda's focus.
Yeah.
So she is probably just sitting on a big old stack of stay death for the kitties.
So what's the armor of Kiddis? Is it 17, 18?
I want to say it's 16 or 17.
Let's check it out, because I'm thinking about how much damage the Strider will actually output on the kitty cats.
Yeah.
With like, I would assume it has been temporarily accelerated. So we're looking at
17.
like
Armor 17.
like short attack, armor 17. Okay, say so short attack with D3 leaps, right?
Yes.
And then you have 3 more
Yes.
shots.
Yes.
So that's looking at 4 D3.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're talking about 14, or no, sorry, talking about 8 electro leaps.
So was there a Firefly on the list? Because I think the Firefly should be up there somewhere, if it is.
Let me see.
And
if
it
I
should
can-
have a Firefly.
It's the Slovenian list. Let me pull up Slovenia very quickly.
There is
Armor
a
19
Firefly.
probably. But yeah.
It's a good. The chat brings up a good point. There is almost certainly a Kreia mixed into that bubble there.
Which does not work into the Electro Leaps.
It does
itself,
not help
yeah.
the electro leaps themselves. Yeah.
There is a Firefly.
There is a Firefly in the list. Yes.
So
I
okay,
mean-
so we see the Strider go in without a Firefly. I
So
think.
actually, I think what you thought was Thorn, that's actually the Firefly, right? So this is the Firefly here,
I would hope so, but it does have a shield, I think.
and then this is Thorn right here.
Let's assume that's a Firefly because
Yeah.
that
That's
makes
the
sense.
Firefly. That's
yeah.
Thorn. Just based on he only has Firefly, Stormwall, Thorn, and a Squire as his battle
because,
group. So yeah,
I would assume that the Signar player wants to burn through all Makeda's Fury and especially like put a lot of damage on the kiddies
yeah.
with the Strider.
Now there is supposed to be a Charger and a Cyclone. I think that's what's back here
Yeah.
on the two journeymen. Well, journeyman and Jake's.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I'm pretty sure that's the Firefly jammed right on in there
Yeah.
onto that zone.
Thorn is in the zone.
Oh,
Okay,
oh,
it is
okay,
actually
so
Thorn
it is
in the
Thorn
zone.
So it's the Firefly. So this is the Firefly here.
Yeah. So I guess
I
we
got
s-
them backwards. I
So
mixed
I
them up.
guess we saw a dodge from the kitty cats.
Yeah. All right. So rolling out his attacks, and I have a hard time really making out what that model is that he has chosen to charge into. I don't know if you guys have a better.
It's probably a cat.
Yeah, it might be a cat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, probably.
Oh yeah, there's like dark cats and light
Yeah.
cats, right? For the
Yep.
2 units. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Makes sense. All right.
And it's interesting to note that the top zone is entirely uncontested from both parties right now.
Right. Yeah. Neither of them really making a move towards it.
Yeah.
I know it's hard for you to see, Josh, because you don't see color.
That's right.
I mean, I guess Makeda could make a move and like get 5 kitty cats up in the zone, but I think that's probably that's a greedy move because it's gonna cost her a lot.
Right. We'll have to see what a retaliation on the Strider is here. I don't think reposition is going to save it.
Yeah. So what does Hale actually have to get the circular zones? Does she have any units?
She has no units.
No units, and herself. So
she has no ability to score those.
so
zones.
the way she's playing now, I would assume that she's trying to score on her own zone and just try to jam up Makeda.
That'd be my guess. Cats are pretty hard to jam.
Yeah, because they do the leap thing.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure what the game plan here is.
Yeah. And this charge with the Strider seemed interesting to me, just because the stack and stay death, like, I'm not sure what you're accomplishing. But I mean, I suppose you have to do something at some
I mean,
point.
I could see if he would have gotten to Firefly deeper, just to get like, but I mean, going from dice -7 to dice -5
Yeah.
on 5 wound models is pretty huge.
Yeah.
And especially when you get like 4 D3 electro leaps onto them. I mean, that can actually burn through a stack pretty fast, especially if you spike some rolls. But now, I don't know. I don't think he accomplished a lot with his charge. He got like a 1 dodge. We'll see what happens. And I guess the Strider has done his
The
activation
Strider's done his activation.
and
has-
accomplished, I think, nothing.
It removed 3 to 4 Fury
Yeah.
from Makeda.
Yeah, we can see one cat damage from the charge.
Yeah, two, another one from Electro Leap. It
Yeah.
looks like. That's it. Not, and there's another stay death on another model. Looks like the Charger making some attacks into the cats. I think trying to finish this forward cat off.
Yeah.
Um,
We see one more Fury
And I
going
th-
off on the Makeda.
yeah. Yeah, and here comes Cyclone. That is on Jake's. And it's probably going to attempt to accomplish the same feat. Or accomplish a better feat by actually taking it off the table. Not sure. Not sure where they're discussing. Yeah. So let's go ahead and check in at table 4. We'll come back and see kind of what the response here is. On table 4, we have the Nemo 3 versus Irisk 2 matchup. We see Irisk 2 still fully bricked up. Keeping everybody. It looks like he's got Artificial Deviation up there. And, of course, they changed Artificial Deviation so that you have to be entirely within to gain the cover benefit. But it looks like he's got a good number of models packed in there.
As an Irish 2 player, this is bad. It's a bad change.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, as somebody who played into whichever Grimkin caster it was that has it, Watcher, yeah.
I think so.
It's a good change.
I understand. I understand.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're seeing two Clamjacks contesting the circular zones. I'm not sure if Nemo 3 has enough output to actually deal with them and do reasonable stuff to the rest of the list. I'm not sure.
He hits hard. Clamjacks are always hard to break up, but let's see. The Nemo list.
They're armor 25, right?
They're
24?
24 maybe? 24 or 25. I think you may be right. I think 25 is right. So he's got a min unit of Sword Knights in there. I think that's what's hanging out in that upper zone. And they're certainly not going to take it down on their own, even with flank. But maybe with shots, they might have, if they can chip in a few points at the end, they might help finish it off.
Oh.
With help of the battle engine, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm totally wrong about the Devastators. Okay, so they're armor 23.
Okay.
And if they make an attack, they go down to armor 19.
Right. Yeah. They can't make an attack.
Yeah.
But I don't think that Jan will make an attack with it. That Devastator is going to stand in that zone up there.
Yeah.
And just keep the Sword Knights from scoring it, or the battle engine from the battle engine.
I mean, I think you can be more aggressive with it. It's like it's gonna die or it's not gonna die.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it can be aggressive and try to like bulldoze stuff out of the zone.
It can trample, slam, and something
Yes.
without opening. So
Right,
if they get
yes.
too close.
So I think just holding it back just to the zone is not optimizing it.
Well, that may be as far forward as he could get it this turn.
Yeah.
He may try to get it up on on that hill up there, or somewhere deeper into the zone.
Yeah.
But I don't think he has any intention of ever opening its arms. So
No. I think that is
yeah.
definitely the wrong move.
His setup here in this zone is quite smart. I mean, he's got so many models, and he's got his. He's really putting the pressure on the Nemo 3 player to come into him. Otherwise, he just gets a free point every turn out of his own zone, right?
Yeah.
And he's easily contesting the 2 circular zones.
Yeah, it's gonna
So-
be. I can sort of see like the sort of trading, contesting pieces because they both have a lot of chaff that can just run into the zones and
Right.
contest, and he has to score.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure what the game plan is. Like somebody has to remove, like the chaff
Yes.
quickly,
Right.
just to get like the.
And so it feels like that favors Jan and the Irisk player here because
Probably.
1, it's hard to remove Irisk 2's chaff,
Yeah.
and 2, he has more of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll have to see. But Nemo 3 never fails to impress me with just how much offensive output he can throw out there.
Yeah.
So looks like maybe he's sending Sword Knights in. No, he's thought differently. Or maybe he is sending Sword Knights into the Ulans here. Probably just 1 into that zone to deny him that point.
Yeah, that Devastator is not making free strikes.
No.
No. No.
Yeah.
You can just
Yeah.
straight past. it.
Very true. Yeah. And so here we see one of the theme benefits of Legion of Steel with countercharge on the Iron Fang solos as well as the Great Bears. But Snake Eyes will always miss. So here is another
Yeah.
countercharge. It looks
I
like
mean-
it's the Great Bears charging based on how he's putting them. I couldn't tell if it was a solo or not.
Whoosh. Yeah.
And that'll miss as well.
Oh yeah, because of the tactical supremacy, I think.
Not tactician, just tactician.
I'm not
from
really
Iris.
sure if that's super legal charge. I think he went past his melee range, but okay, that's up to the players to call
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, okay. So actually, the counter charge rule is super strong against the shaft contesting.
Yes, it is. Nigel has managed to really just send me into a tizzy, I guess.
Yeah.
The way to really describe it. He's just trying to get in and contest a place. You're just like,
Yeah.
all I want to do is just one guy, just run it here.
Please,
Yeah.
let me get one guy
Yeah,
there.
and the countercharge can definitely cover a pretty nice
Yeah.
section.
And I mean, I have the same struggle against Axis, for example. It's like you try to get the contest model, it's like, yeah, poop, nope, sorry.
Yeah. No, it's interesting because in Mark II, certainly countercharge was generally considered a pretty weak rule, but they put it on enough models.
Yeah.
And the way that scoring now works, I feel like it's much stronger in 2017 in Mark III than it ever was before.
And especially if you want to just camp on your own zone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So it looks like he did exhaust his countercharges over there, so he still managed to get one Sword Knight in the corner of the zone. Missing with the first two Great Bears for Jan. Probably cost him the ability to score his own zone on this, what I'm assuming is bottom of 2, but it's hard, so that dice is not really readable by the top of the clock there. All right, let's cycle through and check out another table. Let's look at 5, where we have Sorsha 1 versus Kalissa. And it looks like Kalissa has, I think, relatively unsurprisingly, managed to remove quite a few Winter Guard from the table. It looks like 3 units out of the 4 are essentially gone. But in a shooting-on-shooting fight, of course, Kalissa and her feet are pretty unmatched. Yeah, so you can see,
like in the top left corner, like the
you
casualties.
can see all the dead, and maybe the dead pile of the Kalissa player right now is here. But that's not super surprising, given the way Kalissa's feat is going to interact with this particular matchup. The question will be whether or not Sorsha's feat then allows the Irish player to come back and wipe out a pretty significant number of Mage Hunters there.
Yeah, but I mean, we also have the Kalissa feated. Right now we see the token lying around, so I think they have stealth and cannot be charged.
That's true, yeah.
So, I mean, it looks, from now, it looks pretty good for Kalissa.
Yeah, I guess I am surprised that Kalissa managed to do this much damage before feating. So, like, it's just on this turn. I would have thought he would have had to use the feat very early. And I mean, maybe it's only turn 2 here, although Kalissa player is down to 26 minutes on the clock compared to 45 for the Sorsha player, so he's obviously been taking a couple of long turns here.
I'm still gonna New York Times call this as a win for the Kalissa player.
For the Kalissa player,
so
New York Times.
So now we are 1-1 with John Demaris winning his game.
Right.
And
then Kalissa winning
Sweden Kalissa winning.
I think that clock is pretty much down to measuring 11 inches from every model that he has placed before feeding.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. So we'll see here what the Sorsha player's response is. Yeah. While the Sorsha player is thinking about his turn, maybe we can flip over and see if John and Sevi2 are rolling his opponent as hard as we imagine he probably is.
John has to win since he did not drop Eamon, his clearly stronger list.
Yeah.
But he loves to play. He loves to play Eamon.
But I mean, here we also see the genius of not including the Choir into this matchup, because I mean, the Darkus player doesn't have that much armor, so I mean, the Choir is basically dead weight.
Right.
In this, so I mean, you get more output from the points that you actually take.
Genius. Yes, true genius.
Yeah.
So it looks like John's just throwing some shots into some Bane Warriors here.
That of course tough.
Yeah. Always tough. And of course, Wraith Engine providing its bubble of +2 armor.
Yep.
And a tough, because why not?
And they're tough because why not? Yep.
So what actual medical weapons does Sevi have to deal with this? I would guess the Vessel.
Does Sevi not make his... Blessing of Vengeance is obviously magical. He's got his spray attack, right? That's Sev 2, right? Not Sev 1.
So the Vessel is definitely magical?
Yeah, the Vessel's absolutely magical, yeah. You want to pull up Sev 2's card.
Yep.
I sometimes get them mixed up.
No, sorry. Hierarch. Yeah. You go.
Yeah. So... He has Ashes to Ashes.
And the Hex Blast, I think, is the
and
big
Hex
one.
Blast.
Probably channel for free through the Blessing. But I mean, it's like a 15 into 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rebuke, I imagine, is probably getting cast on the Bane Riders up top. I would imagine.
I hope he brought Rowan.
He does have Rowan in
Yeah.
the list. Yeah. Yes. So yeah, he's got some options.
Yeah.
The Wraith Engine probably should go down relatively
I guess
quickly.
in time, probably.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still like some armor boxes to shoot through for the Protectorate.
There's also quite an annoying sort of interaction that with Rovan it doesn't matter, but the Wraith Engine can base the Egregore and end up stealth.
Oh
from
yeah,
the Egregore's ability.
That's nice.
Which is pretty obnoxious. So, but yeah, all right. Doesn't look like John's done a lot of work, but he's done a little on those Bane Warriors down below.
I think it's just part of his plan. Like, I mean,
no, he needs this game to go 7 turns.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pulling from his racks.
Goes away.
Is that Sev there that he just put that focus on? Must be. This is Sev, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems so.
Yeah. Probably has not Defender's Ward, Banishing Ward. Does he have Banishing Ward, right? Yeah, so that's probably Banishing Ward that he's got on Sev, I would guess. Just to keep Stygian Abysses from finding him.
Yeah.
Banishing or Holy Ward?
Is that Holy Ward? Is that what he has instead of the Banishing Ward?
I think he has Holy
Yeah,
Ward.
it should be Holy Ward.
Okay, yeah.
Plus the defense and immune to spells.
Yep.
And I mean, it makes sense to put it on Sevi because I don't know like what other good targets there are.
Right. No, I don't think there's a lot of other great targets on the list. But all right. Well, let's go ahead and cycle over to table 2. We haven't checked in there for a while. This is the Negra 1 and Zal matchup.
And it seems to be missing a lot of Scorn dudes.
Yes. There is a tremendous pile of dead
souls.
immortals. And there is a tremendous pile of
Focus
souls,
and
soul fury, whatever, on Zal. So I think we'll probably want to stay with this for a few minutes and see. Often this is where Zal 2 goes for like an annihilation assassination or something.
So we'll see. Okay, so we have the Negra behind the building.
Is that a building or is that a hill? Let's
I would
clarify.
say it's probably an obstruction.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yes. So that is an obstruction. This is a line of sight blocking obstruction here that Denegra is behind.
So the question is like, can Zal get
At speed
line of
4.
sight?
So he needs a line.
Does he have extollers?
It's a good question.
There are no actual extollers in the list.
Right. You
So
still
I
are
have to-
advocates, but not the.
I have to see if he can ignore stealth in some fashion.
Yeah.
I'd like to take a moment to say that I don't like them on the table, but from the casting angle, I hate these single color armies even more.
Yeah, right. They're quite difficult to pick
Yeah.
things out of from a casting angle. Yeah.
It's a ghost army, I understand, but
Yeah.
still.
But come on. Yeah.
Okay, Zal has mage sight. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So he can remove stealth from the Negra and spell assassinator possibly.
Right. Question is whether or not Mage Sight won't allow him to ignore the building. So
Yeah, but I mean he can easily charge a random Black Bane or
yeah.
Pirate or whatever it
yeah,
is.
yeah, and I
But
think get line of sight along
I mean
the edge
if
of the
we
building.
get to like here-ish, I think he can draw line of sight.
Yeah. I think. Basically, like along that.
Yeah,
path.
or here-ish
Yeah.
somewhere.
But she does have a pretty big stack of focus sitting next to her right now.
Sure, but like in this state and with that amount of focus, because I mean,
No, that's his option.
Yeah,
I
I think,
agree that
yeah.
that's the play he needs to make here.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. We'll stick with this one for a little bit unless something pops up on the others, so we can kind of watch and see if he goes for it here this turn. Looks like he's just kind of trying to do the work that probably doesn't matter too much up in that
Yeah.
top zone.
Just like last night, Josh, I'll let you know when something pops up.
Fantastic. So, I'm trying to decide if I think that he's returned some casualties on the Ghost Fleet player. It does look like there's a few fewer pirates than usual, but not a lot.
Here's a car.
Always way too much pirates.
Punch.
Yeah, Hakar is trying to clear out some of those guys there. I don't know that it matters too much for purposes of Zal getting in and getting line of sight on Denegra, but
Okay, so can we actually try to count how much stuff he's got? He's got like... Okay, this was too hard. 6,
12, I think.
6, 12,
I think 12.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
16, 20, 24. I'm gonna call 24.
I think it's 24 as well.
That's
also
my
what I
guess.
got. Yeah, about
So,
24
okay, so if he
fury.
charges down, he gets the mage for 2. He's got 22 fury left.
Annihilation is... Their Annihilator is 3, or is it... It's 3, right? Not 4?
It's 4.
It's
4.
4,
But I
okay.
think maybe it's like another... Yeah, I mean, he's got Thunder Spirit.
Oh, yeah.
which is the
preferred,
much better.
Yeah, preferred method.
Okay,
Yeah, I forgot.
So
he had
so
Thunder
so
Spirit.
22. He's gonna get like
It's
5
five fully
dub,
boosted
yeah.
12s.
and she's 16, 12, 14, right?
16, 15 maybe.
I think he should. Okay, let's check.
She may be 15 armor.
Oh, down there. I
Do
can't.
we know how much camp she has?
It looks like she's got a camp of somewhere in the range of 5. Would be
I would
my
guess like
around 4.
for everyone.
Yeah, or as close to full as she probably could camp
Yeah.
would be my guess. So it might be a full stack.
Yeah. Okay. She's 16, 14.
16,
so
14.
it's,
Okay.
so it's off 2. He is Fury 7, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Focus.
He's Fury.
Yeah.
Fury.
He's Fury. Yeah.
Oh,
so
I
here he
see.
comes.
Sorry,
He's
sorry.
He's got the proxy base down for the charge, checking line of sight to it.
Yeah.
Looks like he probably has it.
And she has 16 boxes, so you would expect one Thunder Spirit to do 5.
Which is exactly a camp.
No, I mean,
You mean through the camp?
yeah, I mean through the
Yeah.
camp.
So 12, you expected to do 12? A boosted 12?
No, sorry, it's
No,
just
a
supposed to do
boosted
3.
A boosted
The 3 and a
3
half.
after 3 and a
3 and a
half.
half. You have 5. So that's I think he has odds.
I think he's about 50-50 here. Maybe,
Yeah, okay,
maybe a little
that's not
higher.
because he's gonna miss some probably. But I think that's
Well,
what
they're boosted 7s. He needs, or boosted 9s actually. So yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's under 50% actually, putting it like that.
yeah.
But based on the state of the army, I actually think his assassination odds are
I mean,
they're
I
pretty good for the
It's
situation.
clear the way to go.
I mean,
Yeah,
I would go for this 100%.
Yeah. All right, so here he goes. He's going to charge the Ghost Pirate or Blackbane or whatever the case may be here.
I'm gonna New York Times call this win for Slovenia.
Win for Slovenia. New York Times
because of mage sight
doesn't clear
and good
clear-
dice. There we go.
Mage sight. There's
There we
mage
go.
sight,
This
yeah.
is made my sight.
Yeah. All right, so here
Yeah,
comes
got
the
it.
Thunder Spirit. So throw 2. Maybe he's hard rolling it. Trying to hard roll 9s? No.
No,
No.
I don't know.
No.
No way.
No.
Okay, so
At
I'll
least
know.
hits should be boosted.
So the Denny players describe, yeah. So here he's boosting Thunder Spirit. That'll hit. Unless they were saying that maybe she has cover. Yeah, maybe she has cover because she's
Yeah,
managed
if
from the
it's covered,
instruction.
it's iffy.
Yeah, it's
But
much
that's
worse.
a
That'll,
good roll.
that'll hit. Yeah,
That's good.
and he's gonna boost damage. So dice off 2.
Get it,
Ooh.
get it, get it,
So
get it, get it, get it.
13 and then -5, of course. So he'll take 8.
Oh, fuck you, Danny.
This looks good.
All right, so here we have another boost.
Oh yeah! Oh,
Negra.
This one get.
And another boost.
Oh!
That's game. That's game.
That is.
Yep.
Yeah, so Slovenia, Zal 2 assassinates Denegra
Called
1.
it. Yes, I called it.
Yeah,
New
called
York
it.
Times called it.
It looks like assassinated on turn 5 with Denegro winning 4-0 on control points.
Yeah, with like a million souls to go.
Yes.
Good
So
job.
congratulations. Congratulations to the Zal 1 player, or Zal 2 player. All right, so we can move from
So do you think the Negro is salty about this?
on the salty beach table. I think she absolutely is. All right.
We're going to be here all weekend, folks.
Let's go ahead and switch to table 3. Again, this is Kieran versus Sebastian, Makeda 2 versus Haley 2. So we can kind of see what, if anything, Kieran's response here has been after the Stormstrider comes in. It looks like they are still... it looks like the Haley player did score on her turn while contesting Kieran's zone. So he's up 1-0. It is the Haley player's turn again. Clock is relatively even, 32 minutes to 37 minutes. Looks like the Cats just sort of flanked on the last turn. Some of them obviously went into the Stormstrider, but just a couple, it looks like. It doesn't really look like there was a tremendous retaliation by Kieran. So I don't know if his strategy here is maybe just to wait it out.
Still in really light contesting on the top zone. Both players should be able to get some points there.
Yeah. Haley literally can't. She can't score it.
Yeah, 2 Cats.
Yeah, but the cats can.
Immortal Cats.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I suppose Haley can with her own body, but I don't think she wants to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, after seeing this, do you feel that the nigger should be buffed, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I don't feel
Of
that at
course.
all.
Okay.
Why? I think Body and Soul should come back.
So for people asking about per year and his shirt situation, his luggage was lost. So he doesn't have a jersey, and we encouraged him to play without his shirt.
Yeah.
He has taken
And everybody's better off for it.
Yes.
Okay, so looking at this game, we see not much happening. There's no dead striders. Like kitty cats breaking up. What an amazing game.
It doesn't really look like... basically, neither of them have done much. Haley has scored a point. Kieran didn't really retaliate too much. I wonder... I guess he killed Thorn, didn't he? Thorn's not on the table anymore.
Seems that way, yeah.
Yeah, so he did take Thorn off. So that's smart.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's...
Well done, Kieran.
yes. So that was the response that I was missing by Kieran. He ended up taking Thorn off the table.
Armies are close enough, so I think the Firefly would have been the better model to take off.
I would agree.
Yeah. But
I don't know. Thorn is such a problem. I feel like if you have the opportunity to take Thorn, that's what you do.
True.
That's
Always.
Yeah.
Always kill Thorn.
Yeah.
See, I'm trying to figure out where. I think maybe Jake's and the Journeyman are back there on the hill in the back zone.
Should be right.
Or maybe I can't quite make out what this model up here is. That might be Jake's or a Journeyman. Okay. So, see the Cyclone coming into... oh, yeah, it might also be Strange Ways up there in the top. That's true as well.
I mean, it does have some sort of focus on it, so...
Yeah, I think it's Jake's.
I would
looks like
assume so.
Jake's, but so the Cyclone, which is on Jake's, I believe, is coming in to attack the cats. Killing those cats under Makeda 2 is just such a pain.
It's a fun exercise.
Yeah. Yeah. So it looks like Kieran is marking a proxy. I'm not sure why. Yeah. So
Tough
Yep, just toughing the
Toughing.
cats, attacking
Yeah.
cats, toughing cats. I think
Um,
this is kind of what this game is going to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
like. I'm not actually sure that Haley can win this game.
It's going to be a super grind for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
It's just such a
like I'm not sure. Is it possible for the Machillis to actually kill the Colossal in any way?
it's a good question.
I would think
Um,
not, maybe. I mean, she has the spoiler, but the cats go to 15. Is it 15 boosted? That's still like dice of 7 if it has the Arcane Shield on it.
She's got Redeem with his AP, right? AP Lance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think she has Storm Rager for him. Is that right? I think she has
Oh,
Storm Rager
maybe.
for him.
I think.
The Legends of Halak are weapon masters. They can do some damage. I'm assuming that Arcane Shield is on the Colossal, so that is an issue. I don't know. I mean, do I think that she can kill it if it's the only thing left? Yes. Do I think that she'll do it before that time? Probably not.
I think Haley 2 versus Cats on this spread out table can be called an actual shit show.
Yeah, so she
Yeah.
has got Storm Rager.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay. So she has some tools to actually deal with the I don't know if it's like a Stormwall or Cyclone.
It's
Whatever it is.
It's a storm wall.
Yeah.
It's a storm wall.
So I mean,
Yeah.
she can deal with it, but I think that's
The thing is-
it's probably just kill everything else and just win on scenario.
Right. Yeah. She doesn't have to deal with it
No.
as long as she just kind of throws some stuff into the zone.
Yeah.
Well, it can't even score the zone that it's in. So
Yeah.
if it stays down there to contest that zone, and I'm sure it eventually wants to go where the Storm Strider is and contest both the rectangular zone and the
I mean,
circle zone.
considering that Haley doesn't have any option to actually score the circular zones,
circle
and she
zones.
has to like camp her own rectangular zone and like try to score one
Right.
every turn.
Right.
It seems harsh for
Yeah.
Signar.
It's-
So let's New York Times call this a win for Kier fucking Bolger.
All right.
Yep.
Done.
Siren
So-
fucking Bolger.
So okay, so where are we now? Okay, so we have a win for John. We have a win for Kieran. We did
We
get
have
a
the,
win for Slovenia.
Slovenia.
So we're 2-1 right now.
Yes, that's right.
Don't worry, I got free Rhine.
Okay.
No.
Okay. All right.
Nothing matters.
Okay. All right. So we will go ahead and go to table 4. Let's go to table 4, where we've got Nemo 3 and Irisk 2. So we can see Irisk's list has not moved a whole lot. It looks like Great Bear. Is there a Great Bear up in that top zone, perhaps? It kind of looks like it, along with the Devastator. Nemo's moved I want to say it's a Defender, maybe no, it's a medium base, maybe a Charger, into that top zone along with the Remnants of the Storm Knights. There are no dice marking control points, so I'm not sure that anybody has scored yet. So we've probably come back just after the turn where one of those Sword Knights ran into Jan's zone to contest for a turn, and it looks like Jan's gone ahead and cleared that out and maybe pushed Great Bears up into that top zone. Looks like the bottom zone is contested on the Signar player by a Storm Strider and maybe a Firefly. It's hard to make out what that medium base is in front of the Storm Strider. But again, another Clamjack down there. I wonder, I find it unlikely that the Haley player didn't, or not Haley, the Nemo player didn't score on their last turn. I wonder, oh yeah, no, there is a dice. There is a dice. There's a red die. They were hard to see. They kind of blend in. So it looks like they both have scored 2 points.
2-2.
Yeah, so you can see here and here. It looks like the score is currently 2-2. So they are in, I want to say they're in turn 4.
I think
Right.
scoring from their own zones and nothing else. I
Yeah,
think.
scoring
Yeah.
from their own zones. Over the course of turn 2 and turn 3, I think both of them managed to score their own zones one time. Would be my guess. Looks like the clock favors Jan right now at 33 minutes to 21, and I'm not surprised by that. Nemo's shooting and a little more dynamic. Jan is pretty much just breaking up.
Back in 2 minutes.
So we'll stay here for a minute or two and kind of see if one of these players can kind of make a move and break up the sort of defensive defensive slugfest that we've got going on. It doesn't look like Nemo has so far been able to really break up Jan's formation or penetrate into his line. All right. All right, so I think we may take it to a different table here. This one's a little...
Not slow.
A
Not
little-
slow. I
little
love
slow.
Irisk too.
A little-
It's never slow.
So we'll go ahead and take a look at table 5. This is Charlie versus Tillian. Sorsha versus Kalissa.
We see
Last we
the
checked in, Kalissa had done a lot of damage, but it looks like Sorsha managed to come back and get rid of some strike force. But it still looks like she's quite behind.
yeah. I mean, we see the fun carriage being shouted out for some reason out of the top zone.
Right. So I don't know. I assume it's not dead. Being up there by the clock, I'm assuming it's still alive.
And Kalissa's Jack still being in her own rectangle zone. I'm not sure why he's keeping them back.
So Kalissa started with 4 jacks. Has he lost one?
No, I think we have 4 still.
Wait,
Yes,
did you
we
say
do.
rectal zone?
Yes.
They are rectal zones.
Yeah.
All right. I have to imagine that Sorsha is defeated by this point, right? Unless she's just holding it in the chamber and in hopes to go after Kalissa.
I mean, she could have been keeping it just to, like, threatening Kalissa,
Yeah.
like, if you come forward, I'm going to rock it to the death.
Yeah.
Or whatever he's got left.
Yeah. No,
I
that's
mean,
a
we
good
have
point.
still 1 destroyer for sure, and I'm not sure about the other one.
So he started with a decimator and a destroyer. Looks like he's got both of them remaining. Looks like the field gun crews are still there. And presumably the gun carriage is still in play. We'll have to see whether or not... I don't understand why it would be that far up the table, though. Like towards the top of the table.
This matchup is a mystery for us. I mean, we still we can see that the Kalissa player has like quite a time deficit.
Yeah.
With like 17 minutes against 30.
Which is not surprising. I mean,
Yeah.
on her feet turn, she gets to shoot. The social player doesn't really. And then,
Yeah.
I mean, she does, but
I'm trying to work out the contesting situation on the lower zone, and it looks,
like all strike force in that zone.
yeah,
right?
well, I would say so too. So probably we will see.
It looks like they've got maybe a couple control points to Sorsha currently, though, is what the dice look like up at the top. I think that dial is to keep track of the turns. And
Yeah,
then
it helps us commentators a lot.
Yeah.
The dial. Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you guys for
Yeah.
like ditching the actual clear template.
Yeah.
First, the Manticore is in the front, 2 Hydras in the back, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
yes. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's right. All Retribution Jacks look alike.
They do. They actually do. Oh no, I have a different head.
Strong roll.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go ahead and check on the Infinite Gendarmerie on table 1. All right, so currently, somehow, the Coven player has managed to score 5 control points to John's 1.
Yeah.
So
I think the problem is that John has lost, I think, 2 arc nodes, so his option is severely decimated now
Yeah,
for the
he's
hex
down to
blasting.
just one more arc node.
I've asked-
One more arc node, yeah.
I've asked Simon the judge to stay by that table because there's clearly something wrong. There's clearly some cheating going on.
Yeah.
John should have dropped Aemon. That's the basic thing. Because
Like-
John loves Aemon and he's good at playing it.
Right. No, that's correct. I think he was trying to show off with Sevi here. But I'm sure John is about to plan his amazing come-from-behind victory.
I mean,
True.
I mean, John does still have like a 3-minute time lead.
He does.
So I
Maybe he's
think he's trying to get the opponent to get like confident that he's gonna win, and then just like time him out.
Yes,
True.
I
Yeah.
think he may be right. Yeah. So yeah, the Bane Riders there surrounding his battle engine. It does not look good. And you
No,
know,
I mean, you still have to give John credit because he's obviously facing a bad matchup.
Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
well,
It is a bad matchup for him.
in no game of War Machine that John has ever played has he not been in a bad matchup.
No.
So
Actually, I just spoke with Trisha Takanawa, our on-site reporter, and he did in fact say it was a bad matchup.
yeah, it
Yes,
sounds
yes.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds right.
Thanks, Trisha.
Start drinking every time you say that matchup.
Yeah, I mean, in seriousness, the bottom zone here is a nightmare. I'm not sure what he does. I guess he can get the. It looks like he still got the Retribution of Vengeance, right? That's the name of that jack. Retribution of Vengeance. Does that sound right to you guys?
There's no way that's right.
Blessing of Vengeance. Blessing of Vengeance.
Yes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. So he may get that Blessing of Vengeance up into the zone where the Bane Thralls are, but it's not going to survive. The Wraith Engine, obviously, a problem. It depends on whether or not, does he still have, do we see Rovan around somewhere? I would imagine he still has to have Rovan around. John's army started so small. I'm not sure that he's actually lost that much. He just can't play on scenario. So it looks like the battle engine's taking some attacks on Bane Riders, probably. Or nope, just Thrall. Or Warrior, sorry. I don't know if I'll ever get used to calling them Warriors.
Yeah, no, thralls all the way.
Yeah.
Mark II.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does John actually have to do here to not just straight out lose? Because currently he's not contesting the bottom zone or the top zone. I
Right.
think that the Crux player is going to take a point with Bane Thralls here.
At the top zone.
Yeah, and in the bottom zone he obviously has like enough unit to score.
Right, so he has to take the Blessing of Vengeance in the bottom zone just
Yeah.
not to lose. And the problem is the Egregore is going to score that back zone. I don't
Yeah.
think John can do anything about that.
No.
So even given that, if John contests the other zones but can't contest the back zone where the Egregore is, he loses anyway. at
I
6
mean,
to
he
1.
has to contest all three and make it last until his
Right.
turn comes around again.
And I'm fairly certain that's an impossibility.
I think
from this
John
table.
needs to start cheating like the French he is.
Yeah.
Hot calls from Hermione.
Yeah. So I guess our New York Times pre
The New York Times
the New York Times, yeah.
pre-call was
yeah.
wrong?
Yeah. I'm surprised that John let us down.
I am also surprised that John let us down. We may have to have him on the stream just to explain his list choices
Yeah. And his drop.
and his drop.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so now we're looking at 1-2 for Slovenia instead of 2-1 for Ireland.
Yeah. All right, so let's check in at table 4. Nemo 3 and Irisk 2. See if they've got any. So yeah, so Irisk 2 is broken out. It kind of looked like that's what Jan was doing, but slowly when we were here last. And so he has pushed into that top zone with the Iron Fangs or Black Dragons. I don't know. which they always look exactly the same to me.
Yeah.
But
I would have loved to see the tough rolls earlier this turn because that's a lot of leaps from the signal player.
oh right,
And a lot of
Yeah.
pikemen left.
yeah.
Are they steady with the risk too?
The
Yes.
solos give no sleeping.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
of course, yeah. Yeah, I mean we're seeing Buffo eating a lot of table here,
Yeah.
but not enough to actually clear the zones.
No.
I think so. It's not a.
Maybe.
It's not a warcaster. It can't score.
Sure, but okay. So I mean,
Warcaster
even
score,
even
but
if
yeah.
the egregore can't score itself, like if you would leave that zone open and don't take uncontrolled point yourself,
Then John can, or then
the common play can run one single
once
witch
on his turn
into the
so
zone.
yeah.
So sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, John would still need to contest the zone in a durable way. But yeah, good catch.
Yeah. Denegra definitely had cover. If you guys are in the chat or discussing the assassination on Denegra, she absolutely had cover. He rolled his first attack roll, would have hit Denegra without cover, but the numbers on the dice, but it missed, and he went to spend points for the second one. So I'm pretty sure that they agreed she had cover on the chat. It was not a super high odds assassination, but didn't need to hit too many of them, so definitely the Zal player's best chance there, and it worked out.
Yeah.
A lot of fives, a lot of sixes.
Yes, which helps in War Machine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
why be good when you can be lucky?
when you can, roll big numbers. Now that there's no leadership checks, always roll big numbers.
Somebody is saying it was a 15% assassination.
Yeah,
But,
could be.
strong enough. Strong enough.
With cover, I feel it's lower probably
Could be.
because you're hitting on 13s.
20. Yeah, you need 13s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe 12. I don't remember if he's an 8 or a 7.
I think it's 7.
I
and
think he's
she, and
7,
she,
yeah.
and she goes to 20.
Yeah.
In
yeah,
cover.
Yeah. So yeah. 13s is not great. He was able to throw a whole bunch of them though. So and I don't know that he needs to hit too many. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does.
He
I mean,
does,
he
yeah.
does like 3.5 on average on a
Yeah,
roasted.
yeah.
So I mean, he would just have to
Yeah.
super spike them,
Yeah, which he did.
which he did,
Yeah.
which is good
Yeah.
because everybody like loves seeing the nigger getting hosed.
That's right. That's right. It's a
Nothing
fact.
better. Nothing better.
Oh, 7 plus a car. Okay, so 8. Nice.
Okay.
So need 12s.
Okay. Oh, Hakar is a veteran leader for
Oh yeah.
Immortals or whatever the keyword
Yeah.
of Immortal is.
Keyword Salto.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So it looks like Jan has actually managed to clear this bottom zone. We weren't sure he was going to be able to do it, but he has cleared out the bottom zone. And I think that's probably going to be a pretty big problem for Nemo at this point. Do we see Irisk at the moment? Oh, yeah, of course, it's the giant flag in the bottom zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Nemo is down his main unit of Sword Knights. I can't tell if I mean, I can see Dynamo there. I can see, I think, 2 Fireflies still. At least 2 Fireflies. 3 Fireflies, actually, because there's one in the top zone.
Yeah.
So I think he lost one of the 4 Fireflies in his list in the bottom zone, maybe.
I'm thinking like if it's correct to actually contest with the Storm Strider instead of like something else.
Like
Like
in the top zone up there, or
in
in the bottom zone.
in the bottom zone,
Yeah.
because I think you would probably keep the Strider back,
Yeah.
so it can't get charged, because I mean battle lusted Iron Fang
Are gonna destroy whatever.
does a lot of work.
Yeah.
Slaughter everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
slaughter everything. So I think like probably Dynamo does not have that much purpose in the matchup.
Right.
So I would probably like contest with Dynamo, get the charges into him instead, and just like keep pumping out shots from the Storm Strider
Yeah.
all game.
Yeah.
Can Dynamo actually work out a Devastator in melee
Maybe on
on
I'm
full
not
buff?
sure.
Maybe. So he might be like the last chance to get that one final score or something.
Let's check the Dynamo. So Dynamo is 17 on his Battle Spear with no electricity.
Yeah.
Like I'm not really sure how Nemo is going to handle the Clownjacks if they never open up.
Seems hard. So he goes 17, 18, 19, 20, and that's it? Or
I don't remember if that works on the melee attack or if it's just his gun.
I believe it does.
It's melee, yeah.
It is. Okay. Okay. All right, we're going to take you over to table 5. That is the Sorsha 1 Kalissa game. Looks like it just finished up. Can we get a report on the result? Oh, it looks like a Sorsha feat by the token, and I'm going to guess if the game ended on a Sorsha feat, that it ended with Sorsha killing.
I mean, we have Sorsha probably on Kalissa,
Yep, it
I
looks
would assume.
So we discussed like maybe he was holding the feat for that. It looks like that's Sorsha and Kalissa right there. So we're going to get confirmation, but it looks like we probably had a Sorsha feat turn assassination on Kalissa. So probably a victory for Ireland in what is probably
Yeah, assassination win.
assassination of Kalissa, right? Not of Sorsha. Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
Sorsha assassinated Kalissa on feat turn to win for the Irish and bring the score back to 1-1.
Yep.
So
And I
yeah.
guess in total 2-2 with our New York Times game
with the
calling.
New York Game style. Yeah. All right, we'll flip back to 1 and see if John has managed to dig his way out of this trap.
There are less Griggs models at least.
There are less Crix models. He has made some headway.
It's still John's turn. He's still 5-1.
Yeah.
I can't see him scoring.
He's got to get that jack into that zone. Looks like he's trying to figure out if he can do that right now. Doesn't look like it.
I'm not sure if he can actually get, like, if he could score from the objective, that would help him a lot, but it seems far.
Yeah, it looks like Crix player has already scored from the objective.
Okay, so he's actually contesting 2 zones with 1 jack. Nope.
No,
Nope.
he's
Nope.
just running it there.
So both zones have 1 jack. And that's it.
Actually goes
maybe
both
he
of them.
is. Yeah, maybe he is going for both of them. So that'll help a little bit. All right, so Blessing is going to go in here and probably try to make it harder on Tush to kill that Reckoner that John just contested both zones with.
So how does he contest the upper zone?
Um,
Like running the book, maybe through the forest? No, that's a hill. Okay.
I think the correct term is shit all.
He's got to contest it. He's got to contest every
Yeah.
zone, and he's got to do it in a way where he can't be. So I don't know. Maybe the Blessing hasn't gone, or I mean the Battle Engine hasn't gone yet. All right, we got some cats on Haley 2 on table 3, and we do love seeing Haley 2 or Denegro 1 get assassinated. So we got to come over here and take a look.
Penetration.
Yep. That's the boxcars. Yep, that's game.
Well done, Kieran.
So Kieran manages to take down Haley 2 by assassination.
We do love some dead Haley on the stream.
Yes, like,
Yeah.
and whenever Haley or the Negger dies, a star is born.
Nothing
Yes.
else. Nothing else. Like it.
So it looks like a Haley player may have managed to get up 3 points to nothing on Kieran, though his time was down there. But
Doesn't matter.
doesn't
Leave
matter in the
yourself
end.
Open.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to go over to 4. Nemo 3 versus Eros 2. So the current official score is 2-1 Ireland, right?
I have a terrible time with names, but the Irish player did give me whiskey last night, so he's my best friend
Yes.
and should win this game.
Yeah.
Jason is his name.
Jason.
Jason.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then again, I do love some Irish, so I'm undecided.
You're torn.
I mean,
You're torn.
I'm torn. That's the
I mean,
Iris
exact
we
word.
or
can't cheer for
whiskey.
Signor. We
Yeah.
can't.
We can't. Yeah,
No, yeah.
exactly. Irish. Irish. Irish.
So yeah, this it actually looks like they're still at 2-2, but I thought that Jan cleared out the bottom zone last turn, so I'm
I
not
mean,
sure how.
I mean, it's gonna start to tick now.
I think so, yeah.
I mean, it seems that they could probably score with Irusk in the rectangle zone and units in the bottom zone.
So pretty equal as far as current situation in terms of both players have roughly 16, 17 minutes on their clock, and both players have 2 points in the 4th turn. So let's see what the Stormstrider can do with this contingent of Iron Fangs in the top zone. Looks like he moves in and makes his first attack. Probably not
Seems
not
bad.
gonna take care of it. So looks like a little rules check. Maybe thinking about shield wall or something. Where the electroleaps originate from.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're good. I think we're good on this table for right now. It sounds like John is taking a free strike on the book, trying to run in and contest that top zone, sort of like you thought. Even if the book survives the free strike, obviously John's not going to come back from that matchup. So
How can you say that? It's John.
that's
I mean,
true.
It's John, but he's playing a bad matchup.
It is a bad matchup.
And the book took a free strike and died. So I think apparently 3 free strikes and died.
Yeah.
So that's keeping you up to date on Jean de Marie.
Bad luck. Bad luck. That.
Bad luck. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure he's got a triple backup plan for that, though. Okay. So I don't know. It appears that the Stormstrider's activation is done. So I don't know. It doesn't appear to have done much of anything.
Nope.
Stormstrider's overrated.
Yeah, overrated.
Yeah.
So how would how would you fix the Stormstrider? I mean, we see it.
It's been set to perfection.
I mean, I thought it would set it was set to perfection, but now I think after seeing the performance, like it dies super easily, it does no work.
Yeah, it's like they actually cooked it well done.
Yeah,
We need.
yeah.
We need. All right, on table
No
one.
way.
In table one, the legendary Jean de Marie has conceded his game. I wonder if he has any regrets about the list he chose to bring or drop. We'll hopefully be able to catch up with him later. I think this is a tremendous upset,
Yeah.
and I'm sure the world is in shock.
I think that maybe he would have needed more arc nodes.
Maybe if he had a 4th or 5th arc node
Yes,
in his
yes,
list, he could have.
Yeah.
Could he gone lower than 0 choir?
Could he have?
Could you go -1 choir?
Like you actually lose a power on all your war jacks?
Yeah.
Like that. Like
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
That's a list option that he might want to look into.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. All right, so we'll go back to the remaining game and deciding game of a 2-2 matchup between Ireland and Slovenia. It looks like Nemo did manage on his turn to go ahead and secure a additional point, probably on that center zone by clearing it out. At least by the dice, it looks he's up 3-2 now. And clocks are ticking down, but the Nemo player has about 6 less minutes.
This is not a grindy game. Not at all.
Not a grindy game. Well, when you play Arisk 2, it's usually over lightning fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Haha, lightning fast.
Uh-huh.
That's nice. Very nice. Yeah.
You won't see it, but there's a lot of fist pumping going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, yeah.
Josh knows a thing or two about being lightning fast.
Yes. All right, so what does the Nemo player need to do here to get those remaining 2 scenario points? I'm trying to find a...
I mean, it's gonna need 4.
Oh, you're right. He
Yeah.
needs... Yeah. He
So I
needs-
mean, it's
he needs 4 points. In the time limit given to him, it doesn't seem doable.
I mean, the top unit can't get battle lost, so I'm not sure how well. I mean, there's no battle lost, there's no martial discipline on the top units. I'm not sure if they can actually budge the Storm Strider.
The top unit, I think he may be able to wear that top unit down, but he still has to deal with the Clamjack.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Irisk is positioned in an excellent place where he's pretty safe.
But I mean, the Kato rectangular zone is just uncontested right now, so you could absolutely probably sneak 1 point somehow.
I think you could sneak 1 point on Kador's rectangle zone. Yeah.
But I mean, it's gonna be 1, and then it's gonna go down with a clam deck to contest.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I imagine that Clamjack eventually moves to contest both those zones.
There we go. Kapow.
Yep. So here is exactly what Rickert was talking about. Jack in the rectangular zone to.
Kieran, I love your spoiler.
We are seeing a dazed John Damaris walking away from his table right now. Yeah. Not quite sure how John could have let that one go. We are having him potentially join us here for a minute so we can ask him about his curious choices on list choice and why he decided to drop into that matchup.
Oh, I see. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Yes.
So what's the... How are we doing?
It's 2-2.
Is it really 2-2?
This is the deciding game here that we're watching.
Fantastic. I told you I needed my guys to carry me.
Yeah.
You could have been the deciding game, John.
You could have been, John.
Oh, no, I was not. I was never in that game. I don't know if you saw any of it. I was never in that game.
Oh, we were focused intently for tidbits. We thought maybe if you had a 4th or 5th arc node in your list, it might have helped you even out the matchup.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
No.
Okay, no.
There's
Well, there goes that theory, Ricard.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so my bad.
Yeah.
Wrong call.
Yeah.
This game looks pretty close, actually.
Yeah, you have
Mikado
Nemo on 5 points now
Oh, no, sorry.
to 2. So Nemo into Irisk, 5 points up on 2, it looks like. They keep changing the points, but I feel like Nemo is the one that continues to play, so
Yeah.
I'm not 100% certain the score. Maybe we could have... can you verify the score on the remaining table? Like it was 3-2. Okay.
I mean, I think it goes to 5.
Yeah, I think
because it takes his own zone and the other zone.
Yeah. Okay.
But I
Okay.
mean, it's easy for Baffa to contest with the clown jack, just both zones.
Yes. Yeah. So
The bottom zone is just Nemo. I don't think is gonna be able to contest meaningfully.
yeah. The question is, can Nemo? And I assume Nemo has popped his feet probably when we weren't watching. I can't imagine that he would have held it this long.
I mean, there's a lot of dead stuff over there.
Right.
So
Yeah.
also, that feat tends to be better early.
Right.
I feel like.
Right. Yeah. When you have more
attacks.
More attacks. Yeah.
Yep.
For sure. So I'm not sure. Yeah. And so there we see Buffalo go ahead and move that that Devastator into both zones.
You see the time?
The time is currently 7.5 minutes for Ireland and 16 and almost 17 minutes for Slovenia. Okay, it is currently 5-2 in favor of Nemo at the top of 4.
I mean, I would expect Irusk to score the bottom zone this turn,
Right.
but he would need to contest Nemo zone just to
Yes.
not have the.
Well,
space
Irisk is
farther
in the
away.
bottom zone, so Irisk can easily score that.
Yeah, but I mean, he need to contest Nemo zone as well.
Yeah. Which his Iron Fangs can move into that zone.
Yeah, but I mean, he's got like Dynamo. He's got a Storm Strider up there.
Yeah. I don't think he can contest it through the... I think Nemo can certainly clear his own zone on
Yeah.
the next turn. I don't think it'll be hard for him to do that. At this point, I think
But
Baffa wants to play a little bit for time. He does have a currently almost 9-minute advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think this game is going to go to time.
Yeah, I mean, probably.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that the Sonora is going to tick in Baffa's favor as well.
Yeah.
Who's the first player?
That is a good question. We don't actually know on this table. It's currently top of 4. Is that? It's bottom of 4 with Baffa playing. So Baffa
Okay,
will get
Baffa's
to
second
score
player
it.
then.
We'll get
Yeah,
to
this is
score.
definitely in the driver's seat
Yeah,
then.
yeah, with a time advantage and the ability to score last.
Yep. Yep, I think Baffa's going to win this game.
Interesting to see him move Irisk, and I wonder if it's literally just to a safer place if he feels the only avenue of loss he has here is
a Hail Mary.
Is a Hail Mary assassination.
Looks pretty safe there behind that forest.
Yeah. So it looks
like
like
a
we
good
have
game,
a
though.
couple of Ulans charging, or not Ulans, pikemen charging into Dynamo here. Handful of attacks. That's pretty good damage roll.
Yeah, for sure.
I think he may be very close to losing Dynamo here.
John.
What?
Dynamo left
What's-
on one box.
What's Pirate Severius' favorite Jack? The Yark node.
Arr!
Why did I come over here? I should not have done that.
That's because you wanted to let everyone know about the strange and weird tech and the terrible dice that caused you to lose your game.
No, I didn't play that. I didn't play that game very well. No, I'm good.
Every matchup is a bad matchup for Jean Demery.
That's good. So, like, the biggest problem is lists like that Sevi list don't work really well in SR 2017 because it's very difficult to meaningfully contest.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's what you saw in the game, right?
Right,
So,
yeah.
Which is why I've kind of gone away from gun lines or even, I mean, that's sort of a control-y, grindy sort of list, like
Yeah.
sandpapery sort of list,
Right.
and it's difficult,
No,
difficult to use.
I agree.
What's Baffo's time down to? He's sort of,
Bafo is at 13 minutes.
he's still got
So
a,
he's still got about a 5.5 minute
Yeah,
advantage.
more than
at the
enough.
moment. Yeah.
I mean, he looks Asian, but he is Swedish.
no, really, I am Swedish.
No, you're French.
I'm actually not French,
John.
but I am genuinely, I'm not lying.
American, Irish, Asian.
I'm a wee bit Irish. Toy, 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 toy.
John. The chat wants to know. They want to know. Have you heard about the new pirate movie coming out this summer? It's rated R.
At least tell good pirate jokes.
ER.
The worst. The absolute worst. Let's get back to the game.
Yeah, let's.
Let's get back to the yard.
Let's not get back to the yard. Oh, sure.
John, what?
No. Just tell me what it is later and we'll get it. Don't worry about it. I trust you, JJ. Yeah. Don't worry.
John, what do you think Nemo's best chance of getting rid of like one of the clamjacks is in this game? Because I feel like
I don't think he has a good way to get rid of one. He's got to slam it out of the zone.
a slam or maybe a charge.
Got him. Don't encourage him. Why are you laughing at him? That's terrible. Yeah, this train wreck.
So this is interesting. I'm not sure exactly what Baffo is trying to protect against here with this Devastator. I guess he's towed into the very back of the zone, making it hard for him to get around to it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it matters that he's placed him behind Irisk.
Yeah. All right, so Jason's got to play fast.
Yeah.
No matter what his plan is, he's got to like just execute, which is hard when you're under the gun.
Right. I mean, kind of the nice thing is that he is up
5-4
enough,
now?
Enough. Is it 5-3? 5-3. Only the bottom zone was scored by Irisk on this last turn. He can't score his own zone because there's Signar Jack in it.
Oh, nice.
His own
I didn't see it.
Yep.
It kind of blends in.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a little hard on the stream
Yeah.
to pick him out. Yeah.
Interesting.
So he's got he's got like a 2-point advantage. I almost feel like Jason can sort of do the bare minimum here and maybe get the clock advantage to flip back to him, potentially. But he's got to play quick.
Yeah. I've been pretty impressed with Slovenia's lists. I feel like they really came prepared to play.
They, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
They put on a good show. Your Ghost Fleet player James,
Yeah.
ended up with a pretty hard luck loss.
Yeah.
He had Denegra in cover on probably full camp, at least 5 camp. Zaltu had
24,
22,
I think.
24, yeah, 24
after mid site.
24 Fury, but Army was pretty decimated. So he was able to charge in, put Mage Sight down, and throw Sunder Spirits, but he needs 12s to hit, like he had Hakar.
Yeah, that's rough.
And so he had like 6 or 7 fully boosted, but it actually only took him 3.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so dice a little bit.
I mean, it's a little bit, but 12s. So on 6 or 7, needing 12s to hit, you probably hit 3 of them.
But he only does about 3.5 damage per Sunder Spirit because of the full camp.
Right.
So he actually needs to hit like 5 of them.
I know, but
Yeah.
you should statistically hit like 3.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. So a little bit of a hard luck loss for James. Looks like a Firefly getting in there on the bottom zone. Doesn't look like it's contesting though. Trying to work its way through. Jason's down to under 5 minutes now.
Yeah. It's a really good game on it, like a pretty close game on attrition, really.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if Jason had just like 4 or 5 more minutes, he might actually be able to wrest control of this bottom zone back.
Yeah.
And if he's able to do that, I think he's able to win on scenario.
2 bottles of beer, a glass of beer, and
Such a
George is
How's the War Machine been? Has it been good today?
War Machine's been great today. We had a really nice first round stream. New Zealand, it's their very first time sending a team here, and they won 5-0. And
That's nice.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
some very good play. And then this round is going to a final game. And every game that was not your table was a great game to watch.
Yeah, I bet. That's fantastic.
But actually, your table was the most fun to watch.
which is so you can make fun of me.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
It is rough to try because there's so many areas to contest.
Yeah,
When you just have
just a handful of models.
it's difficult.
Yeah. I just don't think lists like that are viable in the current Steamroller, which is why it was very confusing.
But you had all that choir you could have used to like run around and contest stuff with.
Right. Yeah.
Well, as we discussed in the beginning of that match, it was actually brilliant on Jean Demery's part not to take choir, because in that matchup you didn't need the extra power to punch through like Banes, so they would have just been wasted points on
Yeah,
the table.
it's brilliant.
Yeah, yeah. What's that?
You were pretty loud. I mean, it was more obnoxious than loud, if I'm being honest.
So yeah,
Interesting. So Jason's time's got to be just dwindling.
Jason's down to just under 3 minutes. I'm not. He needs to quit vacillating on some of these models and just call it.
I mean,
Yeah, you sound
I
good.
think we are greeting from the crowd beside us, and it's a Suomi helvete hyvä in a Swedish accent. That's fine. Yeah, something fruktsalad.
So it looks like Jason is definitely going to score his own zone, but he doesn't have anything contesting the bottom one yet. He definitely killed most of the Ulans there, but there's unless this is a proxy base,
Yeah.
which I can't quite tell or make out if that's what that is.
That's the weirdest proxy based ever in that case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's not. It's a token.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're each going to score a point.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I feel Jason just took
Yeah, so
about,
here we see
about
Buff-
5 minutes not to get ahead.
So Sebaff was like snugly starting creeping up in control points because he used to be like 3 points behind, I think.
Yes, yeah.
And I was
Beffo
3
is,
points.
is creeping up because of that bottom zone.
Yeah.
Jason really needed to get up that turn and not let Beffo score another, and he needed to do it quickly, and I think he kind of failed to do both. So
Yep. I think this one's pretty much over.
does not look good for Ireland.
I mean, it didn't look good. Did you lose again? Oh, did you? High five. Good job. Good
Yeah,
job.
your captain assassinated Haley 2. We got to see the death of Denegro 1 and Haley 2.
So it was a good stream.
And it was a good stream.
Yeah.
I believe legions of fans in the Solo Masters room have been cheering all day.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Truly beautiful. All right,
I'm just
so
really happy I get to
bulldozing.
play with the Irish. It's nice to have no expectations.
Many a lady has said the same thing.
Yeah. Bulldozing out,
Irish, those ladies.
getting control of 2 zones, flipping the clock back. Very, very quick, concise sort of turn from Bafo here.
Yeah, I mean
Focusing on the...
he's decreased the deficit in control points, so I mean even if
it goes
He lose like-
to
if he lose like
turn
2,
7, yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine.
5-4.
It's 6 to 4. 6 to 4. 6 to 4 in CPs right now.
And it's gonna be 6-4, yeah.
Yeah, he is gonna score his own zone and that bottom zone.
Yeah, it's gonna go to
So it's gonna go
5,
6 to
5,
6
6,
if
yeah.
if he does anything to contest Nemo's rectangle.
But I mean 6 to 7 is still fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This will be going into turn 7 now.
Yeah. So I do think we are on turn 6 right now. So the turn 7 is somewhat relevant
It is, for sure.
because Jason can get a turn done in about 2 minutes. Like.
Yeah. And if he gets enough of a lead.
Yeah, if he has enough of a lead that Jan can't clear it all in 8 minutes, that is a route to victory. Given that we are this late in the stages
Yeah.
of the game. Jason.
Yeah, and here we see we're going into the last round, and it seems that the Irish guy did not actually change his dice for scoring. So the score should be 7 to 6, I think, going into the last round.
Oh, okay. Maybe. I think 6-6 is right.
Is it?
I think so.
I mean, I think he should have scored his own zone, right?
Is there a Iron Fang like?
Oh yeah,
whatever,
okay,
like
yeah,
right
yeah,
there?
probably, yeah, that's an Iron Fang. Okay,
yep,
sure.
Yep. So I
So,
think
yeah.
6-6 is right.
Seems correct.
Yeah. All right, so flip over to Jason. I think he was taking a free strike. Maybe that was what was going on there on that clock, just to get that guy towed into the zone to deny that point. I think he's going to get his Firefly into the rectangular zone here. Looks like he's trying
As
to see if
far
he
back
can
as he
walk
can.
through and get towards the back. So it looks like he can get.
I mean, I guess he wants to get deep, so avoid bulldozing.
Yeah, probably. Although I feel like he can. Yeah, he just needs to be in the center of the zone for that. So he may have gone a little too far.
That's fine.
So Dynamo's going to come over and clear his own zone so that he can score a point here and go to 7. I think he's just got to hope that that Firefly lives. The 2 Fireflies live, basically.
If he can clear. I mean,
He's down to 22 seconds. Clears that zone. He's going to take an attack here, but he needs to roll quickly. 16 seconds. Yep. And flipped over for tough. Not tough.
Jason,
And
come on.
9 seconds. 6, 5, 4. So that is the end of his turn. With 4 seconds remaining on the clock, he will score 1 point and go up 7-6. He needs to force Bafo to clear 2 zones, basically kill 2 Fireflies.
Or kill basically the objective and get 1 more point.
Oh, he does still have his objective. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point. So that is an option as
Sure,
well.
if anything can get to it
I
meaningfully.
don't know if the Clamjacks can get to it. Obviously, yeah, I think the Clamjacks may be able to get to it. Irisk to Boundless Charge. Does he have Boundless Charge?
I don't think he does.
I don't think he has any 30 extenders, right?
Yeah. So I'm not sure if those Clamjacks can make it with a threat range of 8 inches in total, right?
Looks pretty sketch to me.
Yeah.
What's the distance between the zones? 6?
Distance between the zones is, I think, about
6.
6.
Okay, yeah, he has Energizer.
He has
Okay.
Energizer.
Yeah,
there
yeah,
you
so
go.
you're
Yep,
fine.
yep. So he's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think blowing up that objective and killing 1 Firefly will win Buffalo the game here.
Yeah. Although he doesn't have a lot to put into the Firefly in the bottom zone, right?
He doesn't, but I think that Firefly is taking quite a bit of damage already.
Oh, has it?
I think so. We'll have to see.
Actually, this is pretty close.
It is a
Like,
pretty
there's-
close game.
There's
here
a lot
at
of
the end.
dice that have
I
to
mean,
go.
couldn't they have
All right, so we're gonna see
like
if he can.
like energize and then run 1 Devastator to bulldoze the Firefly out of the zone, and have the other one kill the objective?
that could potentially be an option. Yeah.
But that didn't happen for sure.
So it looks like he's gonna bulldoze. Oh, slam. Do
Oh,
they?
yeah,
They
yeah.
have combo slam
Yeah.
on their fists. Yeah. So he just slammed that fire. That makes it significantly easier. Yeah. So there's 1 zone. Now all he has to do is kill the objective. I assume Energizer. Yep. Okay.
Boop.
Gets there. And should be relatively academic
Yeah.
here, unless his dice
Auto
just
hits.
yeah,
Like
auto
dice-
hits.
what, dice
Probably
of
dice
2 or something?
plus. Or
No,
yeah,
it's
POW
dice-
16.
POW 16s.
Dice off 2.
So that was 6 damage.
Yep. Yeah, 1
Uh,
damage.
7 damage.
11
damage.
So 4 more, so needs a 6
6 to
on the
kill
last
it.
one.
Yep, 6 to kill.
Got it.
Yep, got it.
Skadoosh.
Yep. It blows it up. Contest the zone. Contest. Scores 2, which
Yep.
will take him just high enough to win.
That was a good
Very,
game.
very tightly played.
Slovenia.
And that will give the match to Slovenia 3-2.
Congratulations to them. That was a good round.
It was a very good round.
Yep.
Yeah. Got some good War Machine today. So, I think
You want to get the Slovenian captain
we'll
in here?
try to get the Slovenian captain
Let me go
on
get
if
him
he
for you.
can if he can speak English, and we'll give him a try and give him an interview for you guys.
Who won your round? We lost. We just did. How'd you guys do?
We won 3-2.